Good morning and happy Tuesday. Today I am having my coffee out of our Gilbert office. And on today's Coffee Talk, I wanted to introduce some of my teammates. One of my teammates today. This is Chris Glazier. He is a fellow licensed agent and he is also our team's repair consultant. So today, Chris, I guess we're going to talk about the couple things that you think that'll help prepare a house for listing, right?
Right, yes.
Okay.
Good morning. I think when people start thinking about they're going to sell their house, their mindset is thinking about them being in the house and what they want to do to the house.
Okay.
And that's usually where they think about where they want to put their money into the house,
Mm-hmm.
which generally is not the best place to put your money into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, if you have somebody else, such as maybe the listing agent or somebody, a handyman,
Mm-hmm.
that would come through the house and look at the house from a totally, just an outsider's point of view, they can probably pick out several things that may stand out to somebody that's never been into the house.
Okay.
Little things that most people pick up on the house when they're first pulling up to the house to view the house
Mm-hmm.
is obviously your front yard.
Okay.
The curb appeal.
Curb appeal.
That makes or breaks the decision whether they love the interior of the house. I mean, might have a perfect layout, but the curb appeal may give them a bad taste in their mouth, and they just not want to go any further with it.
So like that first 3 seconds of
Right.
impression.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes you can't have a hard time changing that, but sometimes it's maybe just changing a little bit of the landscaping, cleaning things up. There may be some things that just need to be repaired or taken care of. Other things are, one of the most common things as far as a handyman, when a house goes under contract, they'll get a inspection done on the house. One of the most common things is door alignment and making sure that the door closes and latches properly.
Okay.
A lot of people don't think about it because it's their house. They go in and go out all the time, or maybe they use the garage access going in and out, and they don't really pay attention to the front door. Sometimes it's really hard to unlock, really hard to lock, doesn't close and latch very well. Those things leave an impression on the people as well as they're coming and going, because it's the first time they've been in the house.
Yeah, I remember I was helping buyers out, and I guess nobody even realized that the door latch was working until after they were moving in, and that was a big whoa, we should have caught this moment.
Yeah. Some of the other little things, and for the most part, other than repainting a house, for the curb appeal exterior wise, changing some of the plants, doing some different trimming, stuff like that, you're not talking a lot of money.
Right.
And fixing, realigning the door, making sure it latches and locks properly. Some of the other things are your kitchen and bathroom, your faucets. If you're kind of used to it and the handle's really stiff, or maybe it drips every once in a while, or there's a lot of calcium buildup on the faucets. Those kind of things, they're easy to take care of ahead of time, and that first impression makes a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. What about, would you recommend doing the caulking in the tub and stuff?
Yeah, any kind of cleanup type items like that,
Okay.
it does make a big difference. It's those little minor things really add up. And always when the inspection is done, it always comes up on the inspections, because they not only check for safety and health issues, for mold and stuff like that, because if the shower or the tub, it needs to be recocked, they'll look a little bit deeper in there to see if they can tell if water has been getting past that, to see if there's any mold issues. So that type of maintenance on the house really makes a big difference in how deep the inspector is going to really go. He can only go so far, but he can make a recommendation on the inspection saying that it looks like there's been water that has gone past the through the wall, and he would recommend that a mold expert comes out and does that. So if you're the buyer and you see that, that's going to be a big red flag. And so on the seller's side, you want to just avoid having that come up altogether. So having that maintenance taken care of. The other thing is the supply lines going to your sinks, the kitchen sink, the bathroom sinks,
Mhm.
and the toilets. We have really hard water here in the valley,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so the supply lines, if they are starting to show any places around the fittings where there's a little bit of calcium buildup, where it might have been dripping at one time,
Mhm.
those are going to be noted in the inspection report.
Right.
It's inexpensive items that can be changed out and fixed. That makes a big difference on how the inspection comes out.
So do you recommend, because I know people are always trying to save a buck, do you recommend doing these repairs before, or do you recommend they wait until the inspection and then do them?
Usually I'd recommend doing it before,
Okay.
because if they're kind of comparing two different houses
Mhm.
and they like the layout and location of both houses, the big difference is stuff that they may have to do or try to
Of course.
negotiate between the two purchases of the
Mhm.
houses. If your house doesn't have to have all the extra repairs, then you've got that leg up on them. One of the biggest insurance expenses or payouts right now is water damage, flood damage,
Uh-huh.
caused by the supply lines or the shut-off valves
Mhm.
from under the sinks, dishwasher, washing machine hoses, refrigerator lines, and those are things that they consider as maintenance issues. So
Right.
you have to always kind of watch them, look at them, make sure that they're still looking good.
Okay, yeah, of course. So basic maintenance that, as a homeowner, they haven't been keeping up with. So those things you recommend at least taking care of before listing your house, especially if you're trying to appeal to buyers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure that they look clean and there's not especially shut-off valves, that they function properly, that you can actually shut off the water. I've seen shut-off valves that the house is only 6-8 years old, but they've got enough calcium buildup in that you can't even shut off the shut-off valve.
Wow.
So if you have a supply line that starts leaking, you can't shut that off. You got to shut off the whole house
Wow.
before you change out that valve. So it's just a lot of times people don't even go into there and check them
Right.
until you actually know that you got a leak, and by then it's already caused hundreds of dollars of damage.
Right. Okay. Well, that was awesome. A lot of good information. So curb appeal is number one.
Yeah.
We want to get good impressions for buyers. The second thing is your door latch, which I have had an experience with. If somebody is at home when, as a buyer, you're going to go see the house and somebody is at home to open that door for you, just go back out and check that door as a buyer. And on the seller side, get that fixed, because if you're not home and somebody is trying to use the key, that is a big well, hey, this door is annoying. Do I even want to go inside?
Right.
And then the plumbing lines and all the plumbing little things, and
Right.
just getting it appealing on the inside, just by the eye, by a normal buyer's eye, so that even by the point of inspection, if the buyer does go with that house, it's already taken care of, so it's not going to show up on that inspection report.
Right. And it's all these little things. They're little dollar items,
Mhm.
but they could affect the closing of the property.
Of course.
It's you get some people there, or you get some inspectors
Mhm.
that are more nitpicky than others.
Mhm.
And especially like with first-time home buyers, they get a list of 40 different items.
Yeah.
But if you add up all the items on there, you may be $500, $600, $800 worth of total repairs.
Right.
But you give them a list like that, and they look at it and it's like, oh man, this is way too much,
Of
and they
course.
just will walk away from the house.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of sad, but it does happen quite a bit.
Yeah.
So-
Definitely. I've seen that happen where it's a laundry list of things that show up on that
Yeah.
inspection report. Okay. Well,
So-
we got to do this again sometime.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed your coffee,
Yeah.
your office coffee. But we're going to go get some work done now. So we will see you guys next Tuesday, maybe with Chris, maybe with another teammate. But regardless, I'll be here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheers.